Hey yo, what's up YouTube? DPD19 back here again with another video. This is back to back to back. This could be the first video C, this could be the third, could be the second. I don't know what order I'm fucking sending this out or uploading it. I have no idea. But we're gonna make this video right now. And it's in regards to the potential new owners of Metazoo, not potential, but the new owners of Metazoo, soon to be hopefully finalized, and what I think of them and certain conspiracies and bullshit that people are sharing in the Discord. And again, I just want to reference, I'm not in Oasis Discord anymore. Haven't been for like a month or so, maybe a little more. I don't remember. Working 7 days a week, I don't. I can't, they're all jumbled together at this point. And just talk about some of the bullshit that's being spewed from what I've been told and seen in screenshots from certain people. So in terms of Metazoo, it has been accepted an offer by the trustee for $2.05 million, well above what most people have thought. And it's by an ownership group that, just seeing the main name and hearing about some of the other names, I'm extremely optimistic. It's the kind of group I wanted to be a part of Metazoo. And one of them specifically I called as, them being part of the ownership group or just by himself. I just didn't know how much money. And all three people that I'm aware of that could be potentially part of it are people that I stand behind personally. I'm a big fan of a lot of them. One of them I didn't know a whole lot about, the main person purchasing it in the documents, but I knew him generally from certain things, like Lutkins US, which was like a middleman grading service, which I'll touch on that in a bit. And I think it's in great hands with all the people they have behind it. I think it's gonna be massive. I think it's gonna have every chance in the world to succeed, and it just depends on how people react to it and if they're able to get to a broader market. And a lot of these are Pokemon people, so can they bridge that gap to people collecting Pokemon and make it a more reputable business in their eyes? Because a lot of people would see Metazoo as a joke from the Pokemon community, and over time some of them you'd see jump on into Metazoo, and a lot of them you just see talk shit about it. It's always a rug pull, this and that. Like, you see the typical stuff, people not having much knowledge about certain things and they just talk out of their ass. But it's a great time for the future, and it happened a lot later than a lot of people probably wanted information to come out. But I mean, that's the legal system, that's bankruptcy. That's what happens when someone avoids bankruptcy for 4 months, and what happens when, until we're forced to sell, because or else we're going to lose all our product in the warehouse because we're a fucking spineless prick. We're we're going to delay it. So we lost 4 months alone there. And then the legal system, took another 4 to 5 months, whatever it was, up till now in September and soon to be October. And yeah, I mean, we're finally getting answers we wanted. Some people aren't happy with the answers because they just want to hate on Metazoo. They just want to move the goalposts. They want to spew all this bullshit, spew all these lies about certain people that could be purchasing. And I just want to make something clear. I'm not going to name names in this video. I mean, I did in the other one, in terms of who I wanted to purchase Metazoo, and that was Gemmin Pokemon. Watched a lot of his videos, loved his content. The definition of a true collector and passion person. He loves trading card games, loves Pokemon, seemed to get into loving Metazoo, in my opinion. He's purchased off of me a couple times before some cards, and he's purchased original artwork from people. So he's a stand-up guy, and I have nothing negative to say about him, nor the other person the main person purchasing it. I have nothing negative to say about him. Some people do and want to spread rumors in terms of one of them, and you'll probably figure out who the fuck it is, but we'll just not talk about it in this one besides the company. So stating that they, scam people and that this person scammed people through Lutkins, and they didn't give people back their PSA graded cards. And I'm just here to say, if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, don't have an opinion. Don't spew misinformation. Stop trying to fit your narrative of you just not wanting. You wouldn't have liked anyone that purchased it, and you would have found any way to be like, oh, this company's gonna overprint everything. This person's not fit to it. He doesn't have the background. He doesn't have this. No matter who bought it, you would bitch and moan. Like, that's just a fact. If you disliked it, if you wanted it to die, you're gonna still bitch and moan. You're still gonna talk shit, and it's, in my opinion, pathetic. Go get another hobby then. Stop hating for no reason. But in terms of the rocky relationship between Lutkins UK and PSA, which Lutkins UK was essentially PSA UK, and PSA was using them as a middleman during COVID, and it got to a point where Lutkins wasn't paying their outstanding bills to PSA, so PSA wouldn't give them back the cards. Lutkins, stated from the UK that they did, and it was just a pissing contest back and forth. I personally believe PSA, because why the fuck were they not giving back the cards? Why would they go through all the trouble of like trying to figure out every single customer one by one? It doesn't make sense. It's people full of shit, and they're in the UK, so it's like maybe laws, it's easier to get away with it. I have no idea. I don't know some of the specifics. I just know in general that it was a huge thing at that time, and it was a Lutkins UK only issue. It's the same thing like with Graded Gem. Graded Gem had their main UK division, they were middleman, and they had Lutkins US, which was Z&G Emporium. Z&G had a lot of delays, because guess what? COVID. It took me like a year and a half to get some of my cards back, because originally he was told that, it's going to be a faster service. It's going to be, quicker than bulk and cheaper. It's going to be amazing for everyone. And it turned into a worser experience than regular bulk, longer wait times, and it was cheaper, but you still waited a shit ton longer. So PSA lied to them. And the UK branch, they just didn't have enough money, I believe, to get back the cards. Not Lutkins, Graded Gem. So, some orders took longer to get, and things took forever. But people from the UK were going to yell at Z&G Emporium like, you have my cards, you screwed me, where's my cards? And it's just like they're two separate entities. The US branch fulfilled all their obligations. They sent out everyone their cards, besides the ones that never paid and or did not give them updated information. They still have them, I believe, and they will continue to have them until those people message them. But they haven't sold them, they haven't stolen them, nothing. It's a similar situation with Lutkins US and UK. US branch, which, fuck, I might as well just say the name, look at it anyways. Charlie was in charge of, has nothing to do with the UK branch. It's two separate entities. Like, he's working under their umbrella, but it's still all his responsibility. I'm assuming, like, holding all the money and getting all that stuff, the shipping, all that, that's all still through him. It's two separate things. And you just see people like sharing like bullshit misinformation online, quick Google search, who is this person? You see one random troll talking shit about him, which easily could be a Lutkins UK person with zero proof about Charlie, and it's just bullshit claims. Like, if you don't have proof, then you're just talking out of your ass. And for a lot of people, like even with me, I have people that dislike me and have accused me of doing certain things, and I ask for proof. I don't get any. Shocker, I know. And y'all, if you've seen the way I talk, the way I act, like, I don't really have anything to hide. I'll be honest if I fuck up. I'll be honest if, I do good. Both, it doesn't matter. Like, if I look like a dickhead, I don't care. If I look wrong, I don't care. You live and learn. I really don't care. If people see it, that's also how you gain some humility. You make others aware of your mistakes, and you're held accountable. Simple as that. And you just have a couple specific people, and I mean, I don't dislike the guy that's like trying to start some of the shit and just trying to compare old situations in Metazoo and compare them now like it's the same as when Craig and Hello Kitty hopped into Metazoo. It's really not the same. And talking shit about someone's LinkedIn Bitmoji profile pic when they have some random fucking picture of like some random character on theirs. Like, shut up. It's just ridiculous. And trying to compare every situation to saying it's like the same, I've seen this before, it's the same as another one. It's really not. You need to take every single one. You can have similarities and have the different end result, but some people are still going to be butthurt, still going to be emotional, still going to be upset about what happened in the past. I get it, but go be in another hobby. Stop, like, go find something that makes your life enjoyable, entertaining. And as far as I'm concerned, with that person is still likes Metazoo, like in the sense of like the memories and some of the cards and whatnot. They're not willing to sell a lot of cards because they'd rather just keep them. Like, why are you talking shit then? Just stop with it. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm just gonna show this screenshot because this is just ignorant, and it was deleted, so guess we gotta immortalize it to be a little petty. And it's just like a statement like this: can't wait to run it back on Metazoo. I have no doubt in my mind that these new owners will be worse than Mike. And it's just, it just sounds like the same as like with an ex, how y'all break up and that person's still butthurt, that person's still petty and still has hard feelings 6 months, 12 months later, they haven't moved on. That's how it feels like to me. If you think some of the most respected people in the Pokemon hobby aren't gonna be worse than Mike, who was basically making up as he went along at certain points, talked out of his ass a lot, didn't know a lot of things, lied a lot to a lot of people. If you think that they're going to be worse than Mike, you're just butthurt and have negative feelings from the past. That's my opinion anyways on it. It's ridiculous. And they deleted that for a reason. I don't know why, but it's here now. There's no taking it back now. It's just an ignorant statement. You're not even going to give them a try before you say that you have no doubt in their mind they're going to be worse. And to the new owners, new ownership group, whatever it is, I said in the other video, I'm going to say it now. If you're in that Discord, take some of the stuff with a grain of salt. I know they probably will. Listen to the people in the community, like certain ex-partners, like, I don't know, Metazoo crew, SJC collectibles, people like that who were really deep into the selling portion of Metazoo, and talk to them about what the people want. Talk to them about just certain insight on a lot of things. Like some of the major people, including myself too, where I'm open to saying the good, the bad, the positive, the negative, what you can expect from the Metazoo community, what you can expect from certain people buying, selling, people's opinions, and what's gonna be a good idea product wise, what's not. Like if there's ever any questions, and mind you, they're never gonna ask me any fucking questions. They're probably not gonna ask a lot of people many questions, because I trust that they know what they're doing, and I trust that they're gonna do their due diligence and talk to the people they need to talk to. However, I'm always gonna be here if any specifics need to be asked. Another opinion from solely someone that collected a shit ton, bought a lot, and sells a lot, seeing market trends and whatnot. And some of the partners, like contacting some of the partners is probably a great idea. Not the ones that are just butthurt, but the ones that are, some of them still selling, the ones that were, knee deep into it and try their ass off to make it work. Talk to all of them and see what the community wants, what they're looking for. And yeah, I'm sure they're going to do a lot of that anyways. Or just try to do some type of market research in preparation and figure out what works, what doesn't, and then go from there. Like just to get them started. But that's just my opinion on it and what I think they could do, should do. They can do whatever they want. It's their company. Going to be their company soon. So, and it just seems like some of the people speaking out, a lot of them are former players. Some seem to be clearly favoring certain people who are trying to start a new Crypted game. And by all means, more power to people. You want to make your own trading card game, knock yourself out. But there's a reason that most games don't succeed. There's a reason they don't last. There's a reason they don't make money. If you think you're gonna even come close to matching Metazoo just because you have cryptids in a game, you are way in over your head. You're delusional, and you're in for a rough patch. And I hope people don't lose a lot of money, don't invest a whole lot of money into it that are part of these projects. Well, some of them they can lose their ass off. I don't give a fuck. People probably can figure out who it is that I couldn't care less about if they lost money on it. But it's just not as easy as people like to say it. Oh, cryptids are, free to use for anyone. It's like no one's gonna just jump from the main cryptid game to some off-brand cryptid game that someone's making just because, this person that was respected in the community is building it. It's not that simple. You're not gonna you might get support verbally and, like through follows and whatnot, but financially, most people aren't going to support you that way. That's the thing you need to get, is the financial support. If you can get financial backing from others, doesn't matter what the fuck you do. Doesn't matter how good your product is. If people aren't invested into it monetarily, good luck. You're not going to get anywhere. And with Metazoo coming back, in my opinion, any cryptid TCGs that are currently being developed have already lost their chance of acquiring a section of the market. Maybe they can acquire a very, very, very small niche of people, like microscopic niche of people, but the market share has now dissipated, and now it's gone back to meta. So you can already see people speculating, people buying a lot of certain items, CN1 boxes that were on sale for like $70, people buying rarer promos, rarer cards. I raised my price on a specific card and someone offered me more than last sold. Like, it's a proof of concept already with Metazoo. All these other ones are just people that think they can make it, and they're probably not gonna. Like, just being real and honest. People can think I'm hating on it, but that's realistic. Everyone thinks they can make a card game, and then when they do and they fail and make the same mistakes as these other games, and I'm not referencing everyone, but that's what some of them are doing. They do the same exact mistakes that Metazoo did with Mike and Andy. They're doing them verbatim, and they act like they're different. They're giving people a reason not to invest in their products. And to all those people, and this is just a piece of word of advice for the new owners as well, if for some reason they watch this video, the idea that a lot of people have, I disagree. A lot of people think you only need 2 main sets a year. You don't want to oversaturate the market. You don't want to do this, you want to do that. It's a lot of garbage takes that are just wrong. You can say you only need two main sets a year. Look at Pokemon, look at Magic, look at Flesh and Blood. These games that people are saying are oversaturating maybe not Flesh and Blood, but the first 2. Excuse me. They're oversaturating the market with too much product. There's wallet fatigue. There's too much product coming all at once. And they can say all that, but the numbers say otherwise. People are still buying them. People are going in debt for these card games. So your opinion on they're oversaturating, they're fucking the market, most of those items from MTG and Pokemon go up in value over time. Majority, at some point, they will go up. It's not a guarantee, obviously, but that's what the market trend's always been. And they print a fuckload, and that doesn't stop it. It might stop people it might dissipate the value of them in the scarcity at first when they print too much. But eventually it goes up because of the name of the brand. And no, I'm not comparing Metazoo to them, but they've shown that even Metazoo has shown you need constant drops to maintain people's attention. You cannot have 2 main sets and like 1 or 2 mini sets a year and keep hype around your game. That's not really going to happen for majority, if not all. It's just not. You can look at games like Chronicles of Arcane. They had a chance to acquire a market share, and in my opinion, they failed and lost a lot of people. They only had 1 main set this year so far. They're going to have another one, I think, in like a month or 2. And they had a mini set. Correct me again if I'm wrong in the comments. And the hype around it's gone. People buying and selling it has dissipated. A lot of people have gone out. A lot of people have sold off their collections. Same goes for like a game like Nom Nom. The Kickstarter has been delayed. As far as I know, it's probably going to be delayed again into October. And there's been no products. So people are losing interest. You need constant products. You can't have 2 main sets a year and a couple mini sets. If it was my company, I would follow the similar route of what Metazoo already did. What Metazoo did wrong was the quality of some of their products and main sets. That was one of their biggest problems. Wilderness and UFO, no offense, dog shit products. In the sense of collectability and everything, and overprinting was the main issue. Like, the prices obviously would be different if they didn't overprint the ever-living shit out of it, but they were not the best sets. They just weren't. They had a lot of good player sets, but there's only so many players. Like, if you have 70,000 fucking, trying to think of a goddamn playable card in Wilderness. I'm just going blank. I don't know, let's just go with a regular, god damn it. Let me look through my bulk real quick. Trying to figure it out off the top of my head. I cannot. And I have nothing to the side of me because I don't open those sets. God damn it. Let's just say it's not a playable card, not a huge playable card, but let's say Burning Spirit Imprint was like a major staple card. It was a common, and there's 10,000 of them. The card doesn't really have a whole lot of value if you don't have 10,000 players. If you have like 1,000, 2,000 players, what is that going to do for you? Like, a good player set doesn't mean jack shit if you have 100,000 boxes. You need a good mix. And Seance for collectability would have been a very good set, except that it was mappable. And you already knew how many hollows you were going to get in the box just opening one of each artwork and knew which one had hollows. And a lot of the boxes had 0 hollows. So you could just get a dud box. There was no true random. That's why that set failed to an extent. Their big box blisters for Target sold amazing. They had a tarot card. Their eBay stamped ones sold amazing. Like, the auxiliary products for with other stores did well. And the booster boxes could have done really well, but they fucked up on that end. You printed 50,000 boxes and they're all mappable. So get fucked. But then you go to like Native, and if they did a set like that, well, it was perfect. You had 19 hits, very playable cards. Some of them had amazing artwork. More than half of them like were artwork and stuff that people would collect. Like all the Fusion Auras, a collector and a player will buy. Wendigo, Piazza Bird from Native, player and a collector will buy. Like, when you have that good mix, then you can have 3 to 4 sets a year. If you have a set like Seance, like, even if it's not the best set like playable wise, you can have a set with dope ass artwork, dope ass cards, some darker cards, and it still sell really well. Like, if it wasn't mappable, it'd have done amazing. And hit rates, you got to maintain it. You can't have boxes like Hello Kitty where you can open 4 or 5 boxes and get no Sanrio 6. It makes those cards very rare and expensive, but it doesn't intrigue anyone or entice them to purchase a box to rip. Because why the fuck am I going to buy a box to rip, or a couple for like $100, $200 and pull nothing when I could just buy the single? It doesn't make any sense. You're now forcing people to buy the secondary market and not buy your product. It's stupid. Excuse me. And it's just in the middle, they fucked up too bad with print runs, and the sets just weren't the greatest. Like UFO, if disclosure pages or files, I can't remember what it's called. We'll say disclosure pages. If the disclosure pages were cards, most of them in the UFO set, that would have done so much better over time. I don't think massively, because, you know, it's still 100K of each SKU, but it would have been a banger set people still want to rip, people still want to open. And all those mini sets, a lot of them Metazoo did were bangers. They were really good. They had their duds, don't get me wrong. Like Revive was really good, Bear Walker was really good. Revive I knew was gonna be shit after what was it? After Nightfall. I knew it was gonna take a little bit of a downturn, and then Seance could have brought the upturn back. But it didn't, because they decided to just do the beasties they wanted to, not the ones the fans wanted to. And that's a big thing too for the new owners. Listen to the fans and give them what they want. In a certain extent. Like some stuff, like a lot of fans can have dog shit opinions. Including myself, I can have a dog shit opinion from time to time, yes. Don't solely listen to fans. Like take their input and take it into consideration and actually do some of those things that they're recommending. Because it's your target audience, you want to know what they're looking for, and if you want to try things and see if you know it'll work out, go for it. But don't like Revive UFO. They put a bunch of beasties nobody wanted, nobody asked for. There was a lot of missed opportunities, and then they also fucked us on 2 boards. They never printed them. You can see from the manifest, not manifest, the warehouse or stock list that they had of what their new owners are purchasing, that it just never existed. Men in Black never existed. The other card, the 10th card, never existed. So there was no chase in that fucking set. And there's a couple ones that I really like Walking Yawn and Sky Snake. Besides those 2, I'm not paying $100 for that. Like, you need to know your target audience and what they want, what they're going to pay money for. So that's all stuff they'll do in research and development. I'm sure of it. I know they'll do great. I have no worries. This is just me talking out loud and, you know, shooting the shit. Y'all know how these videos go. So, lost my train of thought. The mini sets that were like dog shit, in my opinion, Magic Cast, if they did some of the old artwork, I wonder if that's part of the sale. I really hope it is. The like original Magic Cast artwork. But like the Magic Cast being an April Fool's set, when I first ripped it, I made a video here somewhere. Fucking dog shit set. It was, you wasted a good name for a joke set. Stupidest fucking thing you could have done, in my opinion. They were selling for a lot early on. I still don't understand why they were, but you know, the FOMO at the time, that's what it is. Or like Metazoo 30th anniversary. It's not a bad set. I like it. Invisible Ink was a little too hard to pull. It took me fucking 30 boxes, so that's like 150 packs to pull one. That's a little bit of a force. But I mean, it's a hard card to pull, and it's in my opinion, just reading it, it's kind of a broken card in certain situations, and it's a very good playable card. So, a little too broken for that being that rare, and that would be a card that would be stupid expensive. That would have needed a reprint for sure, in my opinion. But I also didn't play a whole lot, so reading them, it's kind of like me reading Yu-Gi-Oh! I can kind of tell to an extent what's a playable card, what's not, but I also don't know the combos that work with it. But they had like M2P2 collaboration. That was, no offense to the M2P2 guys, they were great, they were amazing. Great customer service. I like the guys, I like their product. It worked in my opinion, and it was a good product. I enjoyed it. But a supplement for like $100 or $150 bucks a box, or $125, it was around that price range, 100 to 150, I don't remember. I think it was around 100 bucks for 2 cards and their supplements. That's not your target audience. What the fuck are you doing? That has, like, I could have told you that was gonna fail. And 2 pins, I forgot that. Can't forget the pins. It's just a failure on arrival. And yes, I bought into it because of the Hello Kitty promos. Like, I can, worst case, break even. I can collect what I want, hopefully grade some, and if I break even and get to keep all that I want, great. But they didn't sell anywhere near as much as they were expecting, and the M2P2 guys got screwed. So that was a failed one. The artwork was great. I liked the artwork. I liked the cards. They had some playable cards in there. But nobody's going to spend $100 for 2 cards and 2 pins and just never use the supplements. Most people didn't use the supplements. So it's like failed collaborations like that. Stay away from them, and just you can do mini sets well. If it was my company, I think I said this like 10 minutes ago and I never got to my point. Fuck. 3 to 4 main course sets a year. 3 is fine. 4 would be great, but 3 to 4. Similar to native, where you have a good amount of hits, you have a good variety, and you have both playability and collectability at the same time. Now, I'm not saying do what Pokemon does and abuse Charizard, and in this case, don't abuse Mothman, but you have to sprinkle it into these sets here or there, like your main ones. Like native sprinkled in Piazza and Wendigo. Great fucking idea. You got 2 that are recognizable from the start, and you put them in there, and it still works with the set. Great idea. Great management on the card choices. Amazing. And you have stuff like UFO, Flatwoods Monster from CN1. You see that have its own set. It's part of its own set. You see, honestly, I don't even know if there's really many others from that set. Men in Black from the samples. You see ones come from other sets. Like Men in Black came back in Disclosure Files and was a hit, a huge hit for a card, a playable card, and it's, the artwork. Who doesn't love Men in Black? Stuff like that. You got to sprinkle them in. You don't need Mothman in every set. You don't need Piazza Bird in every set. Wendigo, Headless Horseman. But sprinkle in your main cash cows, your main cryptids, your main beasties in every set. Don't have them every set. Don't have like the same one in every set like Mothman, but do like Pokemon does. Put Charizard every 3 or 4 sets. Do something like that. Maybe 3 or 4 is a little bit of a force for the cryptids, but only do it also when it makes sense. Like War would have seen stuff like Mothman, I'm assuming, Injured Cold, all those major ones. That makes sense to have those cryptids in. It makes total sense. So you got to just be able to manage that really well and continue to go back to the originals, because that's what's going to draw people in. When you have Pokemon sets like, I'm trying to think, what the fuck is it? Not Cosmic Eclipse. Cosmic Eclipse aged really well, and I thought it was underrated. Fuck. Rebel Clash? Was Rebel Clash dog shit at first? I think it was dog shit at first. There wasn't really any chases, any Pokemon that people really wanted. So it's like, if you just put out a set, and people can't relate with the cryptids, then the value's not going to be there. You're not going to sell as much. You need those major cryptids in every single set. People are going to like some more than others, but that's what you can kind of tinker with. Like seeing Men in Black on a booster box would be dope. Do I think that's a good idea for any of the sets that we're like playing? Not exactly, but that's just spitballing out loud. Stuff like that. Like get the recognizable ones. Don't put fucking... Let me look to the side of me and see if there's a random one that I can pick out. Like, I don't know, you can have like Headless Horseman, like Cumberland Dragon, or Headless Horseman. These are Channel 5 promos. I know some people will get triggered, but like have these beasties on the cover of the booster box. Ones that are recognizable, ones that are well known. Cumberland might not be well known, but Headless is. Stuff like that, or like Sam Sinclair in the front if that's your mascot. Stuff like that. Have them on the front of your booster box. Have them in the packs. Loveland Frogman, stuff like that. That beastie, that's one of the more popular ones. Have them inserted to every single set. It in my opinion, it needs to be. I don't give a shit what people say. Oh, it's going to be oversaturated. We want all these new cryptids from all these new folklores. That's nice that you think that. But if people don't buy the product, then that doesn't matter. Like, that's just your opinion because you just want to collect. If people don't buy it, then why the fuck are you printing it? You can have those beasties people want, those cryptids. I keep saying beasties. Those cryptids that people want in a set, but you still need the major ones. It's 1,000% necessary, in my opinion. If I was running it, that's what I would do. I'm kind of like just repeating the same thing over and over, and I'm, you know, being a little fucking stupid right now. But you get the point by now. And it's all stuff that was simple. And we wouldn't be in this position with new owners, but I'm happy we are. Because I didn't like the old ownership. I collected this card game because of the cryptids and the artwork and the cards. I didn't collect it like I had a passion for it like I had with Yu-Gi-Oh when I was younger. And with Yu-Gi-Oh before I started collecting Metazoo. I had that same nostalgic feeling. And I didn't give a rat's ass about Mike. I didn't give a rat's ass about Andy. I made my financial decisions because I liked the game. I liked the cards. And a lot of people did. Even though they hated Andy and a lot that disliked Mike. It is what it is. We collected and we still bought it because we liked it. People can say we were, you know, enabling their bullshit. And some were, yes. The toxic positivity was a thing in Discord. I didn't like it. It pissed me off. And there's a couple times I just asked Mike a question, a stupid question like, oh, what's your favorite hot dog? Or some dumb shit like that. I'd ask that just to see if I get an answer, and I did. I'm like, wow, you don't answer the legitimate questions I give, but you answer that stupidity, fucking dickhead. I've rambled, and this has gone completely fucking off topic. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I've pretty much said everything I needed to say. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for soon to be new ownership once everything's finalized. Obviously, till it's finalized, it's not 100%, but to me, it's just a formality of just sign paperwork, the judge approve it, because who else is finna give you fucking $2 million cash? Like, come on. So, yeah, that's about it. Y'all let me know your opinions down below. Let me know about what you think of the new owners, what you think of my ideas for booster boxes for the future, sets and whatnot. Oh, and mini sets, I would have recommended a mini set every month and a half in between. So that way there's still fresh product. And it's not like killing your wallet too much, but it's still there to keep you intrigued and excited for the next set. That I need to say beforehand. That's what I would like to do. So you have a mini set or a main set every month or so. About, you know, things you can have a little more 1 month, a little less. All depends on scheduling and, you know, if you're very busy with like cons or stuff like that. It all depends, you know. It can change logistically, but they would know what they need to do in the moment. So yeah, let me know what y'all guys think about product schedule, what you would do if you were owner of Metazoo in that situation. If you like my idea with sprinkling major beasties and cryptids, fuck me, major cryptids in every single set, like mainstream ones that everyone would know, so it attracts new people, it attracts the existing people to buy it, it gets them intrigued and want to buy more, but also having the player aspect as well, something very similar to native. If you can repeat native, then you have a what's it called, a recipe for success. You don't need 19 hits, you don't need the same pull rates, but something similar would do very well. Too shitty of hit rates for the good cards just devalues the booster boxes over time in a certain way, in my opinion. Besides, like, you know, Pokemon with Evolving Skies is like 2 or 3 cards, but fucking you're not gonna have Evolving Skies in Metazoo. It's just not. So, all right, y'all. I gotta stop ranting. It's been almost 40 minutes. I gotta go feed my dogs. And I gotta shut the fuck up because I've been talking for like an hour plus. So we're gonna have a lot of videos coming out. In the meantime, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.